Greetings, bitches. Okay, what do you think? What do you think of the new setup? Do you guys like it? I don't know if we're gonna stay at this little fucking stupid desk, but this is what we're doing this week. This is the bit for this week. Are we staying here? I don't know. I don't fucking know. I wanted to try something new. And I thought it was fun because I got these desks, because if you are fake as fuck and you don't watch my YouTube channel, you wouldn't know this, but I'm redecorating my garage, which is where I am right now. And I've been finding it really fun to hang out in here. And then I was like going through, like, it's not Facebook Marketplaces. I kind of like don't want to tell people about this app, even though people probably already know about this app. This isn't a brand deal, and I honestly wanted to gatekeep, but it's called Offer Up. And I'm sure like that, maybe it's just new information to me because like I just fucking moved here. Maybe everyone knows, but it's basically just like people selling old junk and stuff. And oh my God. So anyway, that's where I found these desks. And I thought I have two. I have a second one. If anyone wants to come on my podcast and learn things with me, then I have a second one for you. But for now, it's just me at my desk. These desks are kind of small. How is anyone ever meant to work? Also, the seat can go up. You guys don't care, but the mechanics of this is very interesting. The desk can go down and the seat can go up. And I think I have this camera set up at like a stupid fucking angle. And I think it's probably not the most appealing visually. I've been writing morning papers. I call it the morning news, and it's just news on myself for myself. I'm working through some things. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is I made a list of items, housekeeping items, for you and I to go through before we get to the main body of this week's episode, which I was gonna talk about attachment styles. The thing is though, I actually don't know what the fuck an attachment style is, and I don't really give a shit. So fucking honest with you, I don't give a shit. Like, I just feel like if there's only 4 choices for 8 billion people, fuck off, all right? Fuck off. Okay, I'm not texting you back because I have a fucking avoidant style. I'm not texting you back because you're ugly. Like, shut the fuck up, attachment style. Anyway, it's not the point. I actually don't know what my attachment style is, so I was gonna take a test, hence the laptop, today on this podcast live, which I will do. But first we have to get through my fun little housekeeping things. So the first thing I've written on my housekeeping is the Grammys. The Grammys, are they even real? Question mark is what I wrote down this morning because I was thinking about it and I was like, every time there's an award show, it seems like everyone is so bothered by the results. Like, I just never see people, I see people being happy for whoever won, but then I feel like there's always uproar about 1 or 2 of the awards that were given and everyone's like, they stole it from X, Y, and Z. And it happens every fucking year, question mark. And I've never really indulged in the Grammys because it's not that I don't care, it's just that I like don't really care. They're all Grammy winners in my heart, but then I am really, really, really happy for Sabrina Carpenter. That was exciting because this was her first year at the Grammys. You guys know how I feel about that bitch. Anyway, that was my 2 cents on the Grammys. Is it real? I don't really understand it. Anyway, my ADHD meds finally started working. Okay, this is like kind of boring and I'll skim over it for those of you that don't care, which is probably most of you, because why the fuck would anyone care about my ADHD meds? In fact, I'm not even going to talk about it because it's fucking boring. It's boring and no one cares. Anyway, they started working for me. It turns out I was on too high of a dose. I thought I was on too low of a dose because they're not fucking doing anything for my productivity, because I feel like I'm on crack and I'm going to now swing from someone's chandelier. That was the vibe I was on. Every morning at 9 a.m. I would take my meds. My BPM, beats per minute, my heart rate would be literally 160 resting. Do you know how crazy that is? Your heart rate is meant to be 60 resting. I was 160 and I wasn't moving. Do you know how concerned? I genuinely thought I was gonna die. I kept taking them though because I was like, well, I have to be productive somehow, and this gets me like slightly more keen to like maybe sit down and like maybe look at my emails. So I would still take them and just like risk genuine death, destruction, horror. And then I went back to my psychiatrist, and also the overalls today, someone's gonna be like, this bitch has some kind of weird kid fetish bullshit. Sorry, I didn't think of it. I didn't think it through. I didn't think about the fact that that is going to be a comment. That's kind of unfortunate for me, because that is not how I intended it. I've just been enjoying these overalls today, and now I'm sat at a school desk. That sucks, actually, for me. That sucks. There's nothing I can do now because I'm already wearing the outfit and I'm already recording the podcast, so don't come for me. I'm not a freak, just wearing overalls and sat at a desk because I thought it was vintage and cute, not because I'm a freak. Oh, God. Third thing on the news this morning is that I've started to consume chicken. For those of you who don't know, I have crazy fucking OCD with food. I'm terrified of like every kind of food. Chicken is like my mortal enemy. Like I can't eat chicken. When I was like 14, I was really heavily, honestly, in like a kind of gay way and like obsessive way, involved with a few girls who had very, very, very severe OCD and phobia of puke and fear of the outside world, essentially. And I was the same way, and we all wouldn't leave our houses and we would just talk on WhatsApp all day. It was the most insanely toxic fucking environment that I've ever been in my life to this day. You couldn't pay me to spend 5 minutes doing that again. Anyway, the point was, one of the girls that I would speak to on the daily and that I thought at the time, I was like, yeah, she really helps me with my fucking anxiety. All we do is talk about our anxiety and obsess and give each other new fears. And it was like really productive, apparently. She ate bad chicken and got salmonella. And I have never fucking forgotten that. I've never forgotten it. I genuinely thought she was going to die. I think she did too. Like, I don't even want to talk about it. It still boils my mind to think of how fucking unfortunate this was. This girl dropped out of school. Anxiety was so bad about catching, like, the stomach flu that she didn't leave her house for years. Severed all her friendships, all her ties, like, destroyed every area of her life. And then fucking got salmonella. Oh my god. And so you can imagine, at 14, I was just getting into my OCD. Like, it was just, like, simmering. That was really the start of it for me, because I hadn't thought about how food could have an impact on me. I was still eating crazy foods, like fucking, if you gave me an oyster, I would have eaten it, and I didn't know the correlation. That was the time when I realized that, like, food fucking carries bacteria. So then, in one fell swoop, I cut my diet down to pretty much just like pasta, and like occasionally I would have butter on it, because I was like, everything is gonna kill me. And since then, not one bite of chicken, until about 3 years ago, when I dabbled in a chicken nugget when I was drunk, and I was like, that was fucking delicious. That was delicious, okay? They tell you that the vegetarian, vegan, like, dupes are the same. They're fucking not. And I don't know what they put in that shit, but it would make me feel so nauseous after eating it. Any, like, vegetarian meat replica food, I stay the fuck away from them, because they are so disgusting. They just make, I don't think whatever's in them is digestible by the human body, because every time I would eat that food, I would feel so sick. And I never really get that. Like, I don't really feel sick after I eat very often, unless I'm, like, in a very, very, very bad anxiety phase. Every time I would eat, like, fake chicken nuggets or, like, fake ham, like anything from Quorn, get it the fuck away from me. I spent years of my life just nauseous, and then I realized I could just eat like lentils and stuff, and I was like, oh, this is way better. So anyway, I digress. I started to eat chicken. I bought last week, I was grocery shopping, which I've been, after my YouTube video rant about how I never know what to buy at the fucking grocery store and I don't know how people make meals, I actually sat down and had to talk with myself, and I was like, okay, well, someone left a comment on that video and they were like, pick one recipe of a meal you want to make and do that like once a week. So like add a few rogue items to your grocery list, from like, if you want to make a lasagna one week, do it. And then like, as you start to like work your way through like a recipe a week, you start to just like have a better idea of what foods go together and what should be a staple in your fridge. It sounds very basic. Like, that's just kind of how you should begin to exist and sustain yourself as a human being. I don't know. It didn't occur to me. Why would it? So anyway, in the process of trying to buy more food, I found these like chicken breakfast sausages, and I was like, I don't know. I just want to give that a chance. Chicken sausage is crazy. Like, that should not be the first thing I try when I'm trying to cook chicken. Like, let me not get into why, but like, that's like an anxiety, like sausages are anxiety provoking foods for me, even if it's like beef. So I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with a chicken sausage, but these ones say they come fully cooked, which honestly might be like a worse red flag. Like, I don't even know how this stuff works, but regardless, they come fully cooked, so I don't have to like worry about that as much. And then you just like cook them in a frying pan, like heat them up, like make them not disgusting, and then eat them. So I've been having that for breakfast with 2 eggs, a chicken sausage, and then I've been having a full orange every day, like cutting it up for myself and having that, and then a glass of either orange juice or cranberry juice. And then I've been switching up between, like, you guys don't care, but like blueberries and strawberries, huge fear food for me because I don't know how to clean them properly, but eating those. Yep, but eating those. So I'll take a pat on the back if you don't mind. Thank you very much. Next is I've rediscovered tea. When I wake up in the morning, I take my ADHD medication, which, like I said, shoots my heart rate up and out of my fucking asshole. And then I would drink a cup of coffee because I love to suffer. And then I would just spend the entire day in a state of frenzy and get nothing done. And I woke up repeated every day of my life, which was great. I'm drinking coffee right now because it's like 2 p.m. when I'm filming this, and I think I have the right to. But I've stopped drinking coffee in the morning and replaced it with tea because the caffeine content is lower. Sometimes I get on this podcast and I'm like, babe, really?
Did you guys know that the fucking caffeine content in tea is lower than in coffee? So I've been drinking that in the morning.
Great change you're making in the world. Glad that you're using your platform to really add some substance to people's day. Next thing, I've rediscovered crayons. You may notice I have that's drawn with crayons. I'm not very good at drawing, and it's not really something I care to get good at. Like, it doesn't, I I don't really give a shit. However, I've been trying to find more modes of artistic expression for intentional downtime that I'm spending off of my phone and trying to reconnect with my little hands and the earth. So, rather than sticking my feet in the mud and calling it a day, as I did for a period of time in my life when I discovered what grounding is, like, it's kind of effective grounding, kind of, but whatever. I now have, like, gone to crayons. I lied to you that I was going to show you the art piece that I have on my fridge a couple episodes ago. I will show you. I'm going to insert it right now. So if you're watching the video episode of this podcast, you'll see it right now. I've been drawing with crayons. I'm enjoying it. It's kind of weirdly easy to make something that looks like shit in a good way. Like bad in a good way. I don't know. Like I'm embracing the fact that I can't draw to make kind of cool drawings. So that's cool. I've been enjoying it. I've been enjoying putting them up around my house because it's like kind of colorful. Wow, really going in with like the fetishization of like something this week. That's great. Great for me. A lot of becoming more in touch with my creative side has looked a lot like going back to very severe basics like fucking crayons, respectfully. And when I do a to-do list in the morning, do I do little lines around things with crayons? Yes, I do. I have been lately because it's colorful, bitch, and life is bleak sometimes. Sometimes that's what we need to do. What's next on the list? I've rediscovered nuts again. Really compelling content this week. Rediscovered that I can buy a box of cashew nuts and put them, I bought 3 like little tubs, put them around my house in various locations. I walk past, grab a handful, put them in my mouth. Delicious, sustaining, healthy, good for your heart. Too high in potassium though, gotta be careful because apparently potassium can be bad for you in high doses. I think I'm full of it, so fuck it. And then the most exciting piece of news I have for you this week before we actually get into like attachment styles and like the point of today's class is my new morning routine. Guys, I'm about to change your fucking life. I am genuinely gonna change your life with what I've discovered for myself. So I love mornings. I like how it feels to be awake early because I like the feeling of getting a fresh start. I like the feeling of peace in the morning. I just love the way my body feels in the morning, but I don't wake up feeling very bright or like awake or alert. I'm a slug for the first few hours of my day, but I kind of just enjoy that feeling. I don't enjoy that feeling when I wake up at 9 or 10 a.m. and I'm already fucking hours behind everyone else, and then I'm stuck feeling sluggish at my desk because I'm late and I have to go do shit. What I do like is waking up early. The early bird gets the worm, bitch. It's true. And like having time for myself, making breakfast, and then enjoying the feeling of waking up and walking around my house and like living a nice little life before hell begins, okay? But I can't fucking wake up. I have a sleep demon. And the sleep demon has like severed genuine friendships for me because people will try and wake me up out of my sleep, and someone who lives deep within me, it's not me, I don't know who she is, Adeline, will come out and be literally a menace. She'll tell you to fuck off. She'll tell you that you look ugly. She'll tell you that you don't have purpose in this lifetime and that you should just fucking give up and go home, and I don't even know why you're in my house. Like, I'm not kidding. I mean, I am. I've never said that. But like, that's the kind of shit she's on of like, I fucking hate you. Why would you ever wake me up? And then I will wake up about an hour after that and have zero recollection. And then my friends will be like, I tried to wake you up this morning and you told me to fucking kill myself. And I'm like, what? What? Me? So that's not good. And I don't know how to get rid of it. The sleep demon still exists. She's alive and well. She'll turn all my alarms off and she'll tell everyone that I'm not coming like to work. Like, she'll pull a sickie on my behalf. And I'm like, bitch, you just lost me so much. It's a very challenging relationship that I have with her. And so then I was wondering why the fuck there isn't an easy way to wake up to music in the morning. And then I was looking into like, oh, you can change your like Apple alarm, right? To have like a song from like Apple Music or whatever play as your alarm. But that sounds horrible. It's right by my fucking head. It's loud. The music quality is shit 'cause it's coming from my phone, and like I'm just gonna hit snooze. I'm not even gonna know it's music. I'm gonna be like, what the fuck is that noise? And then I'm gonna break my phone. So I was like, why is there not a fucking way to connect? Like, I have like an Apple Music like speaker, like an Apple branded speaker and an iPhone. So I was like, why the fuck is there no way for me to automate that my music will play at say 7 a.m. through this speaker? Because the only way I can automate music to play through my phone is I can automate it to play through my phone at a certain hour of the day, yes, but not through a speaker. And maybe I'm just like dumb and like couldn't figure out how to do that. Maybe there is a way, but from my extensive Reddit research, there isn't, and I couldn't figure it out myself. So that means it's impossible because I know everything and I'm a genius. So then I looked a little further afield and I found out that the Google Home system, which I already have like set up in my house, has exactly that. You can automate to connect to a certain speaker, announce
good morning, and then play from whatever Spotify playlist you want it to play from at a certain volume at any time of the day that you put in. So I purchased myself a fucking $99 insane $99 for like this big of a speaker for my house, plugged it into my bedroom, set the automation, woke up to the fucking Marias. Woke up to them blaring at a 40% volume into my bedroom at 7:20 sharp. And then it rolled into slightly more upbeat music. Oh yeah, had some ashake on there. Delicious. And then I got out of bed with a hop and a fucking skip. After laying in bed, like luxuriously for about 20 minutes, just listening to my music and waking up really slowly, but like not being able to fully go back to bed because I put it up kind of loud. And I just lay there listening, having like dopamine, happy thoughts, good feelings, probably even some serotonin, I don't know. Do you know how life-changing this is? Anyway, that was day 1. Day 2, I ignored the music and went back to sleep. Fucking travesty. So then I implemented a new routine, okay? I need the music and I need alarms. So I set the music to go on my home system, and then I set my phone to also have an alarm like 20 minutes after the music starts, because I read that it's horrible for you to wake up to like blaring alarms every day, because it literally just starts your day with a fucking shot of cortisol. Like that godforsaken Apple alarm that everyone has, horrendous. Like that noise genuinely like sets my fight or flight off, and it makes me violently angry just immediately upon hearing it. And obviously like I know that that's the case, and I like changed my alarms to be like new alarm sounds from like that little list that they have, but like it's just still a fucking alarm sound, and I'm still angry the second I hear it, and I know what it is, and it's too loud. It's always too loud, and if it's too quiet I don't hear it, so I have to have it loud, and it just sucks. And then you hit snooze, and then it comes on like 50 fucking times in a row. Horrible. So I've got a new routine, and it was an investment. I hate spending money, and that speaker was fucking expensive, and I was annoyed, so I was like, I already have a fucking speaker, but on the Google Home system you can't fucking connect to an Apple speaker, because why would they let you do that? So I did that whole thing, and I've been waking up like a fucking princess, and my days have been like really good since then. Really good might be like an overstatement, but they've been better. My mornings have been way better. And that just about takes us to the end of the morning news. So let's segue on into the fucking test that I have to take, which was the attachment style test, okay? All right, everyone, did I pull it up on my computer? Where did it go? Where is it gone? Like I said, don't really believe in attachments. I mean, I believe in them because like they're backed up by like significantly great evidence, and like everyone agrees with them. Like they're obviously they're real. I'm in denial because I think that my attachment style is bad and I don't want to deal with that. So anyway, we're going to take it. I'm going to be using the psychologytoday.com quiz. And we're going to find out. We're going to go through the questions together. Answer along with me now. Because I feel like a lot of people assume their attachment style. I was the same. I was like, okay, I'm definitely avoidant because I just avoid. Like, it's not fucking hard to figure out. Like, it's in the name, bitch. I avoid things. I'm now securely attached didn't resonate with me. Just by name didn't resonate. So I was like, okay, I must be avoidantly attached. But then my friend, who is my clone, she was like, hey, I'm anxiously avoidantly something. There was another concerning word that she said started with a D. Can't remember what it was. And she was like, I'm this. And it's really fucking bad. And she was like, you might be the same. You should check. This is the same friend that when she got diagnosed with ADHD, she was like, you need to get your diagnosis. I just got diagnosed. And I was like, oh, fuck. So whenever she tells me something about herself, it's like a 2-for-1. She did the work for me, which is great. All right, let's start. Question number 1 on the quiz, okay? I tried to work through relationship difficulties. I mildly agree. I like showing my affection. Honestly, mild. We're going neutral for that one. I am very affectionate. No, you know what? I'm leaning towards strongly agree. I am affectionate. I do like showing my affection. I'm emotionally close in my relationships. We're leaning towards strongly agree, but I'm not strongly agreeing. It feels like too much of a commitment to ever strongly agree on these tests, which probably tells me all I need to know about my fucking attachment style. I can't even fucking commit to the strongly agree button, because like, what if I'm wrong? Hey, what if I'm wrong about you? I can express my emotions. Ooh, we're going neutral. My partner cares about me. I don't have a partner, so strongly disagree. We should go neutral for that, otherwise they're gonna think I'm a psycho and it's gonna skew the result. I have strong relationships. Mildly agree. People say I can come across distant. Oh, strongly agree. I open up to my partner easily. Honestly, quite strongly agree. I'm comfortable being alone. Strongly agree. Fucking love it. Can you tell? I prefer to be unattached. Strongly agree. I can express my needs. Ooh, disagree. I try and keep my emotions and vulnerabilities hidden from others. I think I disagree. I don't think I do that. People say I prematurely end romantic relationships. I don't think I've ever heard one of my friends say that. Strongly disagree. Okay, close relationships don't scare me. Yeah, They don't. No, they do. I'm going neutral because I actually don't understand. I often find myself wanting more space in my relationships. Ooh, strongly agree. I feel comfortable depending on my partner. Depending on my partner. No, strongly disagree. I don't feel comfortable. Right, I rarely feel stressed or anxious about the state of my romantic relationships. I rarely feel so. I fucking hate this wording. I rarely feel stressed about the state. So do I agree or disagree? I agree, because I rarely do. Fucking hell, so confusing. Does anyone else find that wording confusing, or am I genuinely stupid? All right, I know my partner really loves me. What? There should be a not applicable option. I know my partner really loves me. Mutual. I mean, neutral. I don't have one. My parents have told me that I keep my distance emotionally. Oh, my partners. Haha. What does that say about me? Freudian slip. My partners have told me that I keep my distance emotionally. They probably all would have said that. I do this thing where this kind of tea, I intentionally date people who are never going to notice if I'm emotionally distant or not, so that I don't have to ever come across the problem of them noticing. So I'm gonna just go neutral for that one. I get nervous when my partner is not available for me. Strongly disagree. Your results are ready. Relationship attachment test score. Chat, I took the fucking attachment style quiz and it told me to see a therapist. You see a fucking therapist. My next steps. Speak to your primary care physician. What? Guys, it's scaring me. Okay, so it didn't even fucking tell me. Your results are ready. Relationship attachment test score. It says I'm in the middle between securely and insecurely, but then it didn't tell me specifically if I'm dismissant or... I guess it's telling me I'm fearful avoidant, anxious avoidant, and dismissive avoidant based on selected bits of information it's giving me, but it didn't actually give me the title, which is annoying. Because I wanted to add that one to my list of personality traits that I never question further. So now I don't have a definitive answer. I'm going to have to find out more, which is fucking annoying because I wanted the self-growth to stop right here. See a therapist. That's crazy. It's only trying to plug fucking therapists to me also. That's why I needed my zip code. It saw my results and said, give us your fucking location, and made immediate therapist suggestions. Honestly, not a bad idea. I probably should go back to therapy. Just like on a separate note. I mean, I've been talking about going to therapy for a long time, but I can't be bothered, to put it so fucking honestly. I'm just gonna stick to my self-help books. Well, that was fruitful. That was fruitful indeed. Very good outcome, I would say. Should we take another one? I don't like that one. Me as fuck when I was 12, Googling, am I gay? And it would say, yes, bitch. And then I would just like find another website. I don't like that one. I think it was wrong. Okay, so this one asked me, I'm starting a new quiz. Let me start a new screen recording too, girls, because this one's way smarter. It says, are you in a relationship? No. What is your relationship status? Ooh, recently ended a relationship, single, prefer not to say, or still looking. How about all of the above? Let's do recently ended. Why not? I can be very emotionally present with others, friends, family, partners, strangers, but it takes me a while to build and trust and share vulnerable things about myself. True. I often put other people in my life on a big pedestal. Ooh, true. I feel naturally comfortable. These are way better questions. I feel naturally comfortable and safe expressing my feelings and needs to loved ones. False. I feel very upset when others infringe on my need for space, time alone. Ooh, true. I'm willing to work through challenges in a relationship before suddenly trying to leave the relationship itself. True. I tend to be out of touch with my emotions quite frequently. Ooh, true. I am very attuned to others' needs and often put them before my own and resent it later. Ooh, true. I constantly want to be emotionally closer to my partner. This... Bitch, I told you I don't have one. This can also apply to my close friendships. Oh, or romantic interests. Oh, fucking false. I'm effective at compromising and communicating. False. I'm not good at that. It is very difficult for me to set boundaries unless I'm angry. I can sometimes set excessive boundaries or push people away too dry. That's so me. True. No one's ever put it into words before. If I notice my partner showing any signs of coldness, I panic and want to get closer as quickly as possible. This often happens to me in friendships as well. It's so true. And then if I show signs of coldness and someone tries to get closer to me, I'm like, fuck off. Fuck the fuck off. Get the fuck out of my space. I'm just being cold and miserable. And then, God forbid, someone is cold and miserable around me. It's not allowed. Okay, it's not uncommon for me to experience inward emotional turbulence through the duration of my romantic relationships. True. It is not uncommon, yeah. Right? I often feel very hot or cold towards my partner or family members. I tend to operate in extremes. Oh my God, true. I know that I'm worthy of a healthy, happy relationship. Oh yeah, true. When I feel hurt by a loved one, I often have a strong fight or flight response. I find myself wanting to push this person as far away. True. This is scaring me. I do not feel as though I need anything from my romantic partner or loved ones. It can be difficult. It can be difficult to conceptualize how others would meet a lot of my needs. True. I do not enjoy being out of romantic relationships. I often fear being alone. False. I love being alone. If a loved one's behavior hurts me, I will express my feelings and try to understand what caused them to act that way. True. I hunger for closeness, but I fear the emotional difficulty of it at the same time. True. I do not like making social plans with others in advance. I often fear being trapped by commitments. True. I hate making plans in advance because then every time when it comes to fruition, I'm like, fuck, why did I fucking do that? I find that setting boundaries comes naturally to me. False. I focus much more on the relationships in my life than I do on myself. Oh, false. I often feel protective over my space, privacy, and belongings. Oh, true. I generally feel invaded when my partner or loved ones demand too much physical affection. True, it's true, I do. Like, get the fuck away from me. But it doesn't mean I don't like them. It's so strange. I would prefer to spend most of my free time with my partner if I were to be in a romantic relationship. It would be hard for me to want to do things separately. False. I feel that it's easy to be vulnerable with my romantic partner or loved ones. False. Did I answer differently in the other quiz? False. I'm thinking about it right now. I'm imagining if someone that I was close with was in front of me. Would I want to divulge anything? No. Get the fuck away from me. But then I go through phases where I'm like, sit down. I'm going to tell you about myself. I'm going to cry in front of you and I'm going to make you wipe my tears and then caress me. And then other times it's like, if someone even asks me what my middle name is, it's like, I'm going to wage a fucking war on your bloodline. How dare you invade me in such a way? And then you just never know which one's going to come. And I think that's honestly like a horrendous way for a human person being, fucking hell, to exist. And that's why I don't have many very close relationships, because I'm generally unpleasant to be around. And I don't know how else to put it. Just kidding. I'm not with my friends. It's just like, I guess if I loved someone, it wouldn't be that way. Like, I feel like if I was like in love, I would just like get it together, because like you just change. Like the last time I was in love, none of this applied. Oh my god, so maybe I'm answering all these questions wrong because I'm like cynical right now. Oh fuck, I don't know. No, a lot of it remains true. I think I have amnesia of the self, because tomorrow I will be a different person and I'll forget that this one existed. And isn't that deep? I find that my partner or loved ones usually emotionally recover from conflict before I do. False. I don't think so. I deeply fear... This is depressing me, though, because I'm imagining all these unpleasant circumstances in my head and I'm genuinely going through it right now. I deeply fear being abandoned by my partner or love interest. False. I have previous knowledge of attachment theory. False. How old are you? 18 to 24, babe. What's your gender? Female. Oh, I have to fill out a form. What's my first name? Poopy Butt. See my results. Are they gonna email them to me? Oh, perfect. Give them right here. Your attachment style is fearful avoidant. Okay, great. Thank you for taking our attachment style quiz. You are a fearful avoidant style, also known as disorganized attachment. This style can lead to having conflicted feelings about your relationships, as you desire to form deep connections but fear losing your independence or getting hurt. Don't worry, I'll help explain where the style originated from, your patterns, and how you can overcome it to become securely attached. Sign up now. Fuck yeah, I'm signing up now. Poopy butt sign up. Am I gonna have to pay? Payment, yeah. Fuck. Should we pay? I'm paying. Card number. Fuck it. How much is it? Why are you not telling me? $67 purchase. It feels necessary. I can't be outing myself of being this way and then just blatantly do nothing about it. All right. Thank you for joining the wonderful community. This isn't a fucking brand deal. I'm not saying that this website's any good. You now have access to all access pass courses, webinars, and events. A fucking webinar? And it's what? Just other fucking fearfully avoided welcome, Poopy. Thank you. Okay, let's see. Let's see, bitches. Introductory courses. Discover and embrace and fulfill your personal needs. It's 2 fucking hours long. Chat, I might have fun with this. I really might start using this. Courses. Reparenting your inner child. I do wish to disclaim one thing, because my mom's going to be pissed. Because it says that your attachment style comes from like early childhood. My mother is quite literally the most nurturing, maternal, and loving, and present, and emotionally smart woman in the world. Like, there is no good reason for me to be like this, and I'm genuinely gonna try to disprove this fuckface's theory that it's my parents' doing. I guess my dad did raise me for the first 6 years of my life, so like, there's a chance that this is legit. The thing is, it's like, I don't fear getting hurt. I really don't care. I mean, I don't want to get hurt as much as the next person, but I wouldn't say that's the root of my behavior from the small amount of introspection I've done on this topic. It's not. It's like, my issue is I like being alone. And what is so wrong with that? Like, genuine moment. I love being alone. I love my own company. I find it fulfilling. I find it just as fun to go to the coffee shop alone as I do with a friend. I find it just as fun to do like anything alone as I do with a friend. And I like them in equilibrium. I do go through long stints of needing alone time and like, but I wouldn't say any of it's based in fear. I would say it's if anything, it's just like, dude, I don't fucking know. I was raised by like a violently independent single mother with a physical disability. And I feel like something in my brain is built different from that upbringing, in the sense that I'm just like, and I don't mean to like cling to a bad trait just because I got it through something that feels like a part of my personality, because I see people do that and it gives me the ick. I'm not being like, no, I was raised this way and it worked for me, and it like actually fucking didn't, because I don't like when people do that. I think it's like, okay, you're not ready. Like that's all I want to say to those people is like, okay, we see you're not ready. Okay. I don't want to be that person. Like, it's actually tricky for me when I go to therapy and I start to talk about anything pertaining to this stuff or childhood in general, because most of the therapists that I have seen in my life have been like of the older generation, like around my parents' age, like 50, 60. I think it's easy for people who haven't grown up around disability, and this is a topic I shy away from most of the time on my podcast, but we'll talk about it for a sec. I think it's easy for people who did not grow up around disability to seriously underestimate the impact that it has. I think it's easy for those people to not actually have any insight into just how differently older generations view disability, because why would you? Like, those conversations wouldn't come up. You would never see it. And it's not to say that they would ever outwardly be like, oh, you know, disabled people can't do anything, or disabled people shouldn't have kids, or disabled people are inherently scarred or hurt. Obviously, all these things depend on the type of disability that you're talking about. And when it comes to raising kids, obviously things are going to change based on the level of disability and whether it's any kind of mental disability or if it's a physical disability, and then subsequently on the level of the disability. However, even with my mother, who is quite recognizably very, very able-bodied, and that sounds kind of a funny thing to say given that she is missing parts of her body, but she was born that way. And I think there's a couple creators online who I've seen who were born with different bodies, and you see how they open a jar differently, but it's like, well, that's just the way they've always done it, so it's not difficult to them. You know, obviously if you lost a hand tomorrow, it'd be fucking hard for you to open a jar, but this person's done it their whole lives. Like, my mum has a friend who has no arms, who's a professional piano player. Like, you just fucking figure it out. If you're born that way, it's easier, because it's just like having hands, except they're just on your feet. Like, that's what you do. An alien might look at us and be like, how the fuck do you use those fingers? That looks difficult. Like, we have antennae for this. And you're like, I don't know, I just use my fingers. Like, it's what they're for. So I've always viewed my mum as very able-bodied. Like, does she do things the way that most people do things? No, she doesn't, but very differently. Sometimes with struggles, sometimes in a way that makes me want to take the fucking thing off of her and do it myself. There was nothing that she couldn't do when raising me. You know, she just did it in her own way. Other than a few experiences that I won't name that are unpleasant socially that I've had to experience as a result of having a different mother, I wouldn't say that it had any fucking major impact on her ability to raise me. And you would be horrified and surprised, and I was both of those things, to discover that that is not what most people would assume. And I wrongly assumed, being a product of like my generation and just like young people, that was all kind of benign now. And I was like, yeah, no, people aren't like ableist, and people aren't like rude about disability, and then they don't make fun of it, and they don't think less of a disabled person or their ability to raise a fucking kid or their worthiness in the world. And honestly, and this is something I kind of said I would never speak about inside of my own head. However, I'm going to touch on it, but just like, know that this is 1% of the shit that I would love to say. The way people act on TikTok regarding disability in this generation and in the generation below is fucking repulsive. It is the most disgusting thing I have ever seen in my life. It's fucking abhorrent, and it's from the same people who are politically correct in every other area of their fucking lives. It's insane. It is like the untouched devil that no one gives a shit about, and I'm like honestly gonna stop myself in a sec because this is crazy, but like, there are some creators online who have disabilities. Okay? You see them every now and again pop up on your For You page with an obvious physical ailment. And the comment sections on some of those videos have been, to me personally, one of the most upsetting things that I've ever seen in my life. And it's still very normal in the culture of our generation, the younger generations. And I don't know why I'm talking about this, and I'm gonna stop now. My point was, I've had this issue with therapists before when I try and talk about my childhood and they get so fucking fixated on the fact that one of my parents has a disability. and they see things through this lens, and I can't stop them from doing it. And it's so exhausting. And I'm like, no matter how many times I tell them like, hey, this really didn't have a profound impact on me. Like, I promise you I've thought about it. They just don't let it go. Or like, I'll entertain the idea for a minute of like, yes, okay, there were moments of realizations for me that would have been hard as a kid, like realizing your parent is different and navigating the social context of that, rather than ever asking me about my experiences with it. Therapists have tended to just jump to assumptions about what it would have been like, and they never get to find out that like my mum was a teaching assistant for me at primary school, so that the kids all knew her by name and all knew her as my mother and all knew her from day one of joining school as a 4-year-old, so that it was never a thing of finding out or being an issue or no one addressing it with me or thinking that there's something that they can't speak about, and that she held assemblies at my school to talk about her disability so that all the kids knew, and so that no one would ever ask me or say anything strange or mean to me, because they all knew her and she was my mum, and she wasn't scary and she wasn't a mystery and she wasn't something to whisper about. Like, therapists never even get to that point with me because they all get fucking distracted on the fact that, ooh, something must be wrong. And it's exhausting to me. Like, it pisses me the fuck off, actually. And I get defensive on her behalf. I do. It's true. Because it's like, yeah, of course, like there's issues that come with having a different parent. As they age and as I age and as I grow and understand my mother more and her trials more and her tribulations more, yeah, of course. Like, of course there's hardship there. It's a hard thing. Like, she grew up looking different than everyone else. It's gonna be fucking hard. And it's scary as she ages. Like, no one knows what's gonna happen. She's the first, well, her and her cohort, they're the first people to ever have this disability, and hopefully the last. If you don't know, my mother is a thalidomide baby, so that shouldn't fucking happen again. Like, there's stresses that come with it, but they're nuanced, and I've never been able to get past it with a therapist, and so usually I just fucking lie to them, and I'm like, yeah, no, nothing comes to mind when you ask me about my mother. Let's talk about all the other things that she does that drives me crazy, like the fact that she fucking takes a breath before she puts a food in her mouth. What is that? Mum, question. I know you watch my podcast. What is that? What was my point? My point got sidetracked by my anger for the way that the disabled community is still viewed online, that I thought was outdated, and I was surprised to even find in fucking 60-year-olds and boomers, and that I then found tenfold in our very own generation that claims to be so progressive, and it pissed me the fuck off because you're all fucking liars, and I feel cheated by all of you, and I think someone had to call you out for it, so I'm doing it. Sorry. Anyway, that was fun little rant. Oh, I know what my point was. My point was that she raised me so independently, and I think like through her life, through having to just fucking figure shit out for herself and fight for herself and advocate for herself non-stop and live life feeling inevitably on the outside of something, regardless of having friends, relationships, kids, successes, you know, all of that, regardless of all of that, I feel like I just was raised by an abnormally independent woman, and also definitely some type of funky father. I don't know which one of these he would hit. I don't think I need therapy. I think I need a partner who understands that I'm an independent queen and lets me raise our children completely alone, and also like never comes into my bedroom. Like, if we're married, why the fuck are you in my bedroom? Like, what about till death do us part? Did you not understand? What was it about my wedding vows that made you think you could just fucking walk into my bedroom when I'm having my me time? Like, that's so fucked up to me. I would genuinely just rather be fearful avoidant forever. Now, how do I cancel this subscription? You lied to me. You said I have access to all pastor courses. Oh, I do. I just had to refresh the page. That's good. Ooh, courses. Eliminate your inner shame and guilt. An hour and 53 minutes. Do you think they have 2x speed? I'll watch it if you have 2x speed. Workbook. Eliminate your inner guilt. Oh, there's a workbook. Root cause of chronic guilt and shame video. Let's see how this gets started. Let's just listen to a second.
Riddled with excessive guilt and shame.
I'm bored. Don't care. I hate when these bitches try and change me. Look, maybe I'll work on this in my spare time, but I genuinely kind of don't care. I feel like my attachment style serves me really well. And I think that it's biased. And I think that why is securely attached the only positive one? And why are you telling me to get therapy just because I'm not securely attached? Hey, we don't all want to fit into the same box. And I think that there's strength in being fearfully attached. I think that there's a lot of bravery in being fearfully attached. And I think someone's going to love me for me one day. Just kidding. I might watch this webinar because I just fucking paid for it and I don't know how to cancel that subscription. I might have to call my bank because I hate navigating websites because they fucking hide the unsubscribe button. Every website, always. It's like you have to go through like 7 different links and then it's like, in the smallest font that they could legally fucking use, they have something called unsubscribe. And they whisper it says unsubscribe. You can click here if you want to unsubscribe from our fucking $1 trillion scheme that you just signed up to.
I'm gonna go. That was fun. That was a really fun podcast episode, actually. Slightly terrified for what is coming my way with the whole overalls and desk debacle. Leave me the fuck alone. That's all I can say. Love you guys so much. Have a great week. Let me know what you think of the new seating arrangement. If you don't like it, I will fully go back to being anywhere else. I just thought it was fun for this week because I was taking a test. I love you. Have a good week. I'll see you next week. Same time, potentially same place. Love you.